Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. A recent YouTube comment has left me with the greatest bad idea of all time, and suggesting that there was the absolute best party name ever, and I would like to see if I can make it work. With that in mind, we're going to take Nuns with Puns out for a run. And I actually have an idea here that, granted, is a terrible one. Because if you're going to do silly things like this, I would probably not recommend trying it on New Game Plus, when the game is significantly harder. However, I do not listen to reason very well. Got a few trinkets spread out here. And basically, Kvothe, our jester here, is actually not going to spend too much time in the second slot, and instead will be kind of bouncing forward and then leaping back. That'll leave the nuns, in this case, to do the majority of our damage. And I think the ruins are somewhere that if we're going to be taking them, the added benefit from plus 20% damage versus Unholy for Hand of Light will probably come in handy there. It also might be worthwhile to... Let's actually rob Cain of his Unholy Slayer's Ring. And maybe pop this on Unro, our frontline Vestal, for a little bit of added damage there. Yeah. So this is going to be a very interesting time. But I would love to see if I can make it work. Also, the Jester starts with medicinal herbs? That seems weird. Oh well. Plenty of food is probably going to be important here. Grab like 3 shovels for a medium mission. We are going into the ruins, so a couple of holy water seem to make sense. We'll run into some bleed down there. And we'll need plenty of keys. So something like that should be pretty good. We'll go with 9 torches. Why not? And yeah, I'm ready to embark on the greatest joke Darkest Dungeon has ever told. The hope, of course, here being that we do not party wipe. That would be fairly bad. I'm not afraid to pull the plug on this if it goes horribly wrong. But part of me would just like to be able to say that I did it. That Nuns with Puns in New Game Plus totally rocked the ruins.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
And if you can't count on me to do stupid things in Darkest Dungeon on purpose, who can you count on, right? Right. We do have a couple of curios just kind of right out of this door. I figure why not? We're not actually going to really need to go this way. Love that. It's going to be a significant improvement for our Hellion. And that's not so bad either. Okay. Digging it. So far, so good. As long as the rest of the dungeon goes like that, I think we'll be fine. Now, we've already scouted. We actually get a really good starting scout here, telling us that we can ignore this room. Also, we don't need to go down this path. So what I'm thinking is we should probably head this way and then circle around, assuming that there's stuff over here that we do need to play with. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Now, Trap Disarm is okay. Kvothe having 80%.
Mechanical hazards, possessed by evil intent.
That might not have been the greatest demonstration of it, but I'm sure we'll be okay in the long run. Maybe. Hopefully. Let's see how this plays out. Okay. So, I'm going to start off with a little bit of Dazzling Light. Not get the stun, because why would I? Yeah, that's an awful lot of stress right out the gate. Might want to switch to... I actually do have other skills unlocked for him, and I may end up switching him to something a little more stress relievy in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and go with this. Down to 4 is not too bad. Mace Bash does 6 to 12, that does 3 to 7. So we'll go here, get the 8, and then the one thing that we will not be suffering for is healing.
Unnerved,
Ow.
unbalanced.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like the stress reduction is probably going to need to come out right away. Especially considering it's taken kind of so long for Kvothe to even get into a position where he could use it. Do I do the heal? Do I do the stun? Tell you what, let's try to stun here. Man. Okay, well, that's fine. 8 to 12. I say we kill you.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Wow. Well, this party has gotten off to a swimming start. Kleine Ratte, of course, getting like double critted right off the bat. I really feel like that is the only option there, just because this cultist brawler could have acted and immediately killed her. So it's unfortunate,
As the fiend falls,
but I think necessary.
a faint hope blossoms.
Yep. Our jester is going to be quite mad quite early on. Lovely. Yep, that actually is lowering her stun skill chance. We should probably look at changing that to something else then. Okay. Needing a bandage. Do the party buff. Yeah, the party buff pretty much meaningless here. So I probably want to switch to a little bit of stress reduction. Down to 3. Wow. Oh, little mouse, what have you done to anger them so?
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Now, we do kind of have a little bit of trouble hitting the back rank, don't we? Wow. So much stress so early on. Just stick with the healing game for right now. And more. And then a complete inability to hit the back, right? Yep. Really? Our entire party has +9 speed, and it just doesn't matter? Oh, we're courageous.
A moment of valor shines brightest against a backdrop of despair.
You know, I actually do have a Virtuous Chalice on. I don't know that 10% ever actually mattered, but I'm going to choose to believe that it did. Alright. I guess we just try to crush a corpse. Do not despair. As the black deepens, my power grows. Maybe stress relief will not be a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and crush that. Okay, now he is well within range of all of the attacks, which is good. A little more healing going here, and another speed up. We're like 13 speed. The fact that this guy went ahead of us one time sort of offends me. 7. More tempting goblets. You can't hurt her. She's courageous.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay, let's go ahead and swap the Dazzling Light then for Judgment. And similarly, let's get rid of Battle Ballad and go with Inspiring Tune. And then get back to here. Okay. Well, how does that feel for a first outing? A little bit terrifying. I'm a little bit terrified. This is going to be the Eldritch Altar. I think you want Holy Water. Let's go here. Purified. Zoophobia removed. Okay, that was a negative quirk removal. Ah, yes. That's not a rune specific. Really? That's not rune specific? I don't remember ever seeing that literally anywhere else. I've got my little cheat sheet and notepad that I designed, and it's sort of sorted by what area the curio would be in, and when I glanced at ruins, I didn't see it, and then I gave up. But that is why. It is apparently an all-area curio. Okay, no scout there. We're gonna just be leaving the books and the bookshelves. No matter what your book delivery system, we're gonna be ignoring it for now.
Such missteps are the exception and not the rule.
Actually gonna go ahead and use a little bit of food there. And scout. Nope, spiders. We did surprise the spiders. That's an improvement. Right. Okay. Go for the heal, go for the damage. 4 to 9. Okay, what? Let's stick with the healing for now. And that is actually pretty powerful against this particular composition.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
But she has nothing to use from rank 3 when we do that. Unfortunate. I might want to tweak that as well. I suppose I could have spent a little bit more time sort of thinking through all the possible combinations we'd end up in here. They're probably...
Years. Blurred vision. The end approaches.
And there probably are some better skill choices that these characters could have used. Ow! I will, however, argue that the enemy is doing fairly well on its own rolls. Jeez. Like...
A hand's breadth from becoming
really?
unwound.
One turn, just burn down a Vestal. That kind of stuff kind of amazes me. Tell you what, let's go with this. Leave him with 1, because of course. Get you off of death's door. At least temporarily. We'll do that again. Oh, thank you. Somebody's looking out for us. And then a judgment for the kill. Oh, I've actually killed one of them at full health even. And then finale for the other. Nice.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Just go ahead and take off his medicinal herbs. Maybe that's why the Jester comes with medicinal herbs. We didn't level up the others. So from the 3rd rank, she could stun or dodge reduction. Oh, well, let's go with that. Maybe we'll throw out a stun occasionally. Another 6 damage is not something I would be looking forward to. A little bit of gold. Okay. And no scout. Unfortunate. Our first obstruction.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Well, don't worry, Cold Stone. We're doing plenty to prevent our own passage right now. So besides the, abhorrent amount of stress that we gained in that first combat we went through, we're doing pretty well. Also, the number of room battles here is kind of silly. Yeah, okay then. So it's got to be one of these 2 rooms as the final room battle. That's fine. We know that we're not going to run into any enemies, so excuse me. Apparently not all scouts are created equal. Okay, well, that's fine. Tell you what then. Let's throw out a little bit of damage on you. I like that. I like that less. But a 4 is probably the best damage roll we've had incoming so far. I am serious though. Like, these guys have been a little lucky with the amount of damage they've been doing to us. I can't be imagining that, right? Ah, resisted. Of course. Ugh. Poor Unro. They have not been kind to you. It's okay though. We've packed plenty of healers. We can outpace any single attack that's going to come into the party on any given round. Why not? Nice. Remember a recent Reddit thread concerning the Jester's Finale, and that it was the most useless skill of all time? It may be on the front page of Reddit right now, actually. Maybe not by the time you're reading this, but it is at the time that I'm recording this. And I could not disagree more. Yay, stress reduction. Please? Yes, okay. I am a big fan of the Jester as conceptually... Oh, thank you. As well as his actual place in the gameplay. And I feel like I spent more time with the Wine, Women, and Song or the Who's Laughing Now party than basically any other party combination. And it clearly features a Jester. And I think the misunderstanding about Finale is twofold.
Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
You know what? We'll take that over one anti-venom there. There's basically two things that Finale does for you, right? One is you don't want the Jester up front. Like, this is theoretical anyway. You've decided you don't want the Jester up front. And so, wow. So anytime a party shuffle happens or an enemy movement skill happens that lands a Jester up front, Finale is a skill that allows him to move all the way to the back of the party, which is pretty handy. If you've built your Jester to be probably what a lot of people build their Jester to be, which is a battle ballading, inspiring tune style Jester, then Finale is an excellent complement to that. It allows him to get back to a position where he is useful again. You know what? I don't have medicinal herbs, so I'm actually going to move on. And I could use this to save torches here. But one, I didn't want to get my torchlight up before running into that in case the loot table was better. And then two, maybe I get medicinal herbs as loot somewhere. Okay. The other thing the Finale just kind of does is it is sort of the end to the Jester's combat abilities. Like, if he's in combat with you, say he's in the second rank like he is here, more stress reduction. More stress reduction. Nice. Say he's in kind of the front of your party, just dishing it out. Finale is certainly going to be... You know what? Oh, wow. Never mind. Probably could have used that elsewhere. Then Finale sort of signals that he is done with that role, right? Like, we're kind of going to demonstrate here if this fight lasts long enough. He's done with that role and is instead moving back to a supplemental kind of complementary role in the back of the party. It fits overall, I think, with the Jester's thematic battle skills of, like, constantly jumping around, and is one of, if not the only, skills with a positive damage modifier. So the damage modifier here is 50%, compared to the negative 50% that you much more commonly see. So when the Jester's 6 to 9, I can do 9 to 14. I'm pretty okay with that.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
The idea that the Jester has this sort of one very hard-hitting ability that he can use, but he basically just gets it once per combat, right? Like, it's his finale, and after that, it's a showstopper. He's moving on to bigger and better things. A party heal might be worthwhile, but I feel like getting out just a little bit of early damage is going to be pretty handy here, because I'm going to have a little bit of trouble hitting these guys in the very back. So if I can get like an early destroyed corpse guy, that might be pretty handy for me. 2 to 3. Ooh, 2 to 3, and I got a 1.
As the light gains purchase,
what is up with
spirits are
that?
lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Okay, so we at least get one of these guys down in the first round, just not the one I had planned on. Alright, lather, rinse, repeat. I'd say there's like a decent chance that this is actually the last fight. It's 50-50, right? It's either the last fight or it's not, so there's only 2 choices. That's how the odds work. I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Probably don't need to finale you. You know what? Let's do this to get his kill. We'll finale next turn when the damage debuff is worn off. In the meantime, we'll see if we can't stun here. We do. Awesome. Down to 8. And it doesn't matter if you stun him. He will go first in this round. Thank you. Thank you. Please, you're too kind. Alright. And then let's just get rid of this. Alright. And let's just get rid of this. Not quite. Okay. I can live with 5. Ooh. 11's not so great though. My wounds are mounting. You're not wrong. Say what? Let's get rid of a little bit of that stress here. And these guys might be like the perfect stalling party. We don't really have enemies well suited to stall them out. We might actually still get a stalling penalty. Ugh, that's not good. I promise I wasn't trying to delay. Okay. Bayonet jab's not so bad. We can do... It's down to 6. Yeah. Probably would have preferred that waited a minute.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
The Holy Fountain is a 50-50 buff with no holy water. No, loot. Okay, I can deal with loot too. Let's just grab the protection stone to clear an inventory spot. And that was not our last fight. So as 50-50s go, we landed on the raw end of that deal. It's okay. I was being a little bit reckless with healing in that last fight, considering that it might be the last battle and it wouldn't really matter. That might come back to haunt me here. But both of our characters that are really damaged have actually already received their Death's Door debuff. And since 3/4 of our party can pick somebody up off of Death's Door, I kind of feel like I'm not too worried about it. That bleed is probably not something I want to just let sit around, though. Okay. And one of these. Decent. He will die from the bleed, but not quite as fast as I would like him to die from the bleed. There we go. Oh, well, we'll die anyway. Stun doesn't really matter in that instance, right? Okay, decent. 5. Probably kill her with a judgment. Bleeding will get her. And then we can have everybody else just sort of focus this guy down. He does get off one more attack. It is dodged. We are awesome.
Death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
We go ahead and toss out heals here.
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Well, this will most likely kill him. So you know what? Let's just move. And 3 to 5. Still gets the kill. Rough.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
It's okay, though. It's okay, though. Final fight is probably going to be pretty stressful. Something to be mindful of here. Half his HP right off the bat. I can deal with that. And if you're going to tempting goblet somebody, it should probably be Kleine Ratte. Considering she's kind of locked at 100 stress anyway. And then... Oh, that's a rough dodge. Okay. Let's think about this. Probably just debuff you for all the damage. Keep you from doing anything too terrible to our party. Oh, wow. Tempting Goblet for 4 damage. Followed immediately by another Tempting Goblet for Death's Door.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Alright, alright. 9, 7 to 11. 8 to 12. Guaranteed kill here. Let's just go for that. Alright. And then, if someone would be so kind as to save the life of our vessel there. Okay. And 8. 8's not awful.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
Oh, not good.
Another
Super
life
not
wasted
good.
in the pursuit of glory
Unro.
and gold.
Man, just the perfect amounts of damage there. Oh, super disappointed. Like, super disappointed. Alright, we'll do a little stress reduction here. How quickly the tide has turned, right? Get you off of the table. Just have Mr. Bone Defender. And then we don't really have any good ways to do damage to the courtier, so we are likely to be crushing some corpses for a minute. Down to 2. Oh man. Really like quite worried about the track record of our mounting deaths here. You know, I just need to go on like a 50 episode run taking absolutely no casualties, and then I will totally be able to pull this out, right? Ugh, more stress. I almost just want him to get stressed out and see if, like, maybe he becomes virtuous for, like, some free stress reduction. That's probably not the greatest strategy. Alright, well, one of them caved. Again, if you're going to be stressing anyone, pretty okay with that. Harsh, man.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Well. we'll have to do it that way just for space's sake. And then we'll continue adventuring and make camp.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
If religious, if not religious. If religious. Actually, what does that do if has mortality debuff? That's actually pretty decent. Okay. Actually, Prey has gotten a pretty decent buff as well. That down by another 20. All I'm really worried about is stress-related things, right? So you know what? Let's give her a pep talk and then mock her. We traded 17 for 20 stress there. I mean, mathematically that was sound, right? And then throw out a wound care. Oh, and then we'll go ahead and rest quickly.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Check out the locked sarcophagi. And no secret room this time. A little bit disappointing. Actually, and like a ton of curios that are just left here. All books. Like all, well, maybe not all books. That one was a little lab table thing. But mostly books, I suppose. That's kind of disappointing. Man, like a terrible haul. The loss of a Vestal. Ugh.
More moans return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss.
So we're gonna make, like 12,000. Is our heirloom game any better? Slightly, perhaps. Very decent quirks, though. And we do make a level 2 jester out of the deal. My heart goes out to Unro. I apologize profusely for leading you to your death. It was not my intention.
I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor. But I was dead before they found me. And the letter was on its way.
And we finally get
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
the nomad wagon and...
At home in wild places, she is a stalwart survivor and a strict instructor.
And the survivalist. So, if we had just oodles of gold to throw away. These are like... And I think maybe the game agrees with me here, right? But these are definitely the last things that I'm looking to upgrade. And I think that's probably why they're given to you last, so that you don't assign undue importance to them. I bought maybe a couple of like very rare trinkets with the Nomad Wagon. It would be more interesting maybe if you couldn't sell until the Nomad Wagon shows up. But clearly that is not the case, as I've been selling trinkets the entire time. The Survivalist is mostly going to be something to just get us our 4th camping skill for most of these guys. I might want to consider reducing cost a little bit, but it's just crests have so many other purposes this early on that I doubt that's going to be happening. And finally, the most bittersweet part of any adventure where somebody dies is we do have another roster spot available. And I'm thinking we have yet to see a leper, so that might be worthwhile. Let's go ahead and go with that.
This man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
Yeah, especially neither of them are particularly amazing. Warrior of Light's not bad. The Yips is probably pretty awful considering the already low accuracy of the leper. But otherwise, we'll probably want to respec some of his skills there. But, you know, let me know if you would like to be a leper who probably ends up dying a horrible death in the darkest dungeon someday. If you would, feel free to leave me a comment or a like below. Otherwise, I will just catch you guys next time.